Claudia, can you hear me?
I can.
How
I
are you?
can. So challenged, I did it.
I'm challenged too. Rebecca, can you hear me?
Absolutely.
Okay, and then Janet's on. Are you muted, Janet?
No, I can hear you.
Oh,
I'm just
okay.
working. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll get my thing messed up. Pam, you have 37 people. I'm impressed. This is
Well,
exciting.
you know, when people see free, man.
Absolutely. Right here. Right here.
I sure can give stuff away. I have a hard time selling it.
It's the
Yeah.
season. Yeah.
How are you?
Good.
Good.
Good. I'm still walking the streets. I don't see you.
Oh, yeah, I'm out there. We're on the golf course.
You know, but they started golfing, I think, today.
Tomorrow they get back to it.
Okay, I thought about that.
Yeah, we just get up before, we'll walk the, what's it called, the back nine early, because they've started on the front, but you don't run into anybody. And then we'd let Marley off the leash.
Oh, well, that's a big deal.
Yeah, that's a huge deal. She walks okay on the leash, but you know, it's not fun.
It's not.
No, it's not.
I don't do well on a leash either. Think about it. That's right.
Rebecca, how are you doing?
Hanging. Yesterday was kind of like, whoo, you know, and it was like I just had to get out of here, and I found a brand new park close by. So off of Kings Mills, it's really quite nice. So got out to that tree rain, as they say.
Yeah. Well, good. I'm glad you're getting out. I see Michelle joined us. Hey, Michelle, how are you?
So good. How are you?
You know you're going to cleanse as part of the teacher training.
Yes, I'm learning now.
Okay, so you're gonna be doubly cleansed.
Oh, so cleansed. I need something to do. Yeah.
Yes,
exactly.
Hit boredom then.
Yes.
Yes,
I'm trying to learn, do new things.
I'm like,
oh my gosh, I colored my hair too. Yeah. It's blue purple. It's one of those things that rinses out, but me and my daughter got so bored we were like buying all colors on Amazon, like, let's color our hair.
Oh no. Well, I've got the fake fingernails on.
Oh.
That I'm just like, they're like weapons right now, just filing them down. I'm like, never, ever again.
Yeah.
I see Dina's on. How are you doing, Dina?
I don't know if you can hear me. I'm trying to figure this out.
I can hear you. I think we're all doing very well on this. Well, it's 2, so we'll get started checking in. Is everyone logged into the course?
Yes.
Yes, and you it's pretty easy to follow. Yes. Okay. Are you logged in, Claudia?
Yes. I'm doing it. This is a perfect time to be doing it because I think everybody is probably eating more than we should.
Yeah.
And so this is just like a wake-up call to say, whoa, you know, it's a perfect time.
Good. Perfect. And spring is honestly the ideal time from an Ayurvedic standpoint to be cleansing because we accumulate kapha, which is the earth element. We accumulate that during the winter months when it's kind of damp and it's cold and, you know, we are tending to eat more like comfort foods and things like that. And then the energy of Vata, which is the wind, moves in spring. And that's why you get a lot of kapha secretions as well in the spring. So people are always like, I'm having allergies or I have a sore throat or I have a runny nose. And a lot of that is just kapha, which is like the mucus in the system actually moving. So it's the perfect time to cleanse. With the cleanse, it's probably going to go a little more quickly for you guys than it goes for most people, only because of the situation, the environment we're in right now. And then, you know, my concern with the cleanse at this point is that everybody's really stressed and unable to sit in uncertainty. So that might impact you a little bit, especially when you're meditating. So has anyone started the meditation process? Yes, Rebecca? Yes. Yes, Janet, you're meditating?
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay. I did send you guys a link and I posted in our Facebook group as well, that link to Curtin Kriya. And that is the one I would use right now, especially with all the chaos that's going on. Has anyone tried it?
Yes, love it.
Posting it on-
Yeah,
I watched the video today of it, so I thought maybe tomorrow I'd try it.
yeah, that's the one to do, because the hardest thing to do with the cleanse is to establish yourself in meditation. The thing about meditation that people don't understand is meditation's a state of consciousness. It's not something you actually can do. It's something that you practice to receive. And what the gurus teach is, if you use, basically they call it name and form. If you use name and form, you'll get the mind to a still point where the meditative state, that state of consciousness, organically arises. And when they're saying name and form, what they want you to do is they want you to use a mantra. Mantras are super powerful, especially the mantra connected with Curtin Kriya. But the mantra is important because it's something you don't understand. So a lot of people will think, well, I'm going to sit and I'm just going to use a phrase in meditation. Anything you understand actually gets the mind thinking. So like in Curtin Kriya, we're using satanama, which doesn't mean anything to the mind. And if you contemplate it, the mind just goes to a questioning place anyway, right? And then we're using our fingers and we're using a visualization. So the visualization is this white light coming through the crown chakra, and then it's coming out the Ajna chakra. And that visualization, that white light, becomes the form. And then you'll find the sweet spot right in the middle of meditation where it's super silent. And that's where you're just going to feel the energy of the meditation actually come up. Has anyone had that experience? Janet, I know you've worked with it.
Yeah. No, I like it, and I think it's an excellent one to use for beginners, because it's a little intimidating and awkward to sit in silence. So I think it's awesome. I think they'll like that.
Yes, good.
Yeah. I did go on to Deepak's yesterday at noon. I don't know if you did.
Oh yeah, was it good?
Listen to it. It was beautiful.
Okay.
And he's got it on YouTube now too. So
okay.
it's worth definitely checking it out. It's very warm. It's nice.
Okay, good. I'll have to check that out later. What's everyone else's doing? I see Marta joined on. Do you guys have any specific questions?
I just want to thank you, Pam. This couldn't have come at a better time.
Oh.
So we really appreciate, that's very generous of you to start this. So I'm grateful.
Well, you're welcome. So everyone's been to the grocery store?
Just got back.
Okay. It's pretty easy. It's all just, you're going to find as you move through the course, week 1, we start pretty easy. And then week 4 is really the actual cleanse, where you're going to feel like you're on a very boring food program. But, week 1 is just kind of getting your act together. So it's cleaning out your pantry, and you're going to end up moving towards a vegetarian lifestyle week 3. So, as you're going to the store, I suggest you just stop buying meat products altogether. And maybe, I don't love meat substitute because they're still highly processed and have a lot of salt and other things in them. So I discourage that, like if you're going to figure out how to make a cheeseburger, figure out how to do it with like a portobello mushroom and not some kind of fake processed beyond meat.
Gotcha.
I treat that stuff. Hi, Shelly. We really treat that stuff as a special treat. So anything in a packaged form, think of it as something special and not something daily. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
It does. I made the breakfast this morning. With the apples. It is delicious. So you guys should definitely try that one. What's it called again?
Oh God, I don't even know what I call it. It's just it's like coconut, apple, yummy, delicious bean breakfast, beans for breakfast. And it's such an easy, I used to, back in the day, how you'd get invited to like Super Bowl parties and stuff. just for fun, I would make the beans for breakfast and bring it to like the Super Bowl party. And I mean, gone. Absolutely gone. It has so much ginger and good things in it. I'm so glad you tried that.
I did. It's amazing. And I actually found this neat stuff. I discovered that there's an Indian store like 5 minutes from me. It just opened up conveniently maybe a few months ago. And they have this ginger garlic paste. So if anybody is really struggling with that for your recipes, see if you can find that, because it really is a time saver when you have to do all that garlic and ginger.
Yeah, and ginger's hard to peel.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
The trick to peeling ginger is to use the back of the spoon. Did you know that?
I did, and I have a couple of chunks because I'm sipping my tea right now, my ginger tea, and I just kind of carefully just go down the side. I waste a little bit, but I just kind of scrape off the outside part. But no, it's good to know this works, huh? Okay.
Yeah, and if you have one of those, I have one of those pots at home that you sit on the thing and it just turns on and off all day.
Okay.
When I'm cleansing on the level you're cleansing, I'll fill that pot up with water, throw the ginger right in there with
But I did.
a stick of cinnamon. You can put cloves, whole cloves, and peppercorn as well. And it makes it just a little bit more rich. So.
Well, I figured I have to empty the pot by the end of the day. I just have a couple chunks of clover just sitting in a coffee pot.
That's the way to do it. I love it. Laura, how are you doing?
Great.
Yeah.
Taking notes. Yeah, taking notes. Haven't really dove into the recipes or the Facebook yet, but I plan on getting to that later today.
Okay. Do you have any questions at all?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Marta, do you have any specific questions?
No, it was overwhelming reading all that. I'm kind of new to Ayurveda.
Yes.
It was fun though, learning what your mind type is and body. I thought it was spot on too.
Yeah, it's so informed. Like once you get that foundation down, then you can start to apply it to all aspects of your life. My favorite author and probably Ayurvedic teacher is Dr. David Frawley. It's Frawley. If you want to download some more books, he just has a fascinating and fresh perspective as well. So he's probably my favorite. You can follow him on Facebook. You can go to his website, which I forget the name of his website. It's Ayurvedic something or other. But just look up Dr. David Frawley. And he's an Ayurvedic specialist, obviously, but he's also a Vedic scholar, and he's a Vedic astrologer too. So
Cool.
He's a real deal if you're looking for something fun to read. Or not, it's not fun reading, actually. It's like really intense.
It's fascinating. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So Michelle, do you have any specific questions?
Sorry.
Michelle, that's okay.
I was wondering the Facebook group, because when I clicked on the link on my phone, it wanted me to open up my Facebook and I couldn't remember my password. So I thought I would just go into my Facebook and then search it because I can't remember my password. So what was the Facebook group
It's called Ayurveda Made Simple.
Perfect. Okay.
You should be able to find it.
Definitely. Yeah, I had the yogi breakfast today. It was delicious.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's one of my favorites too.
Yeah.
And if anybody has kids, the kids like that too.
Mm-hmm.
Is the yogi breakfast basically like a drink?
Yeah, it's a drink. So what happens with a lot of our Vata people, then Vata is the wind. So a Vata person in their mind really is resistant to routine, and they have I don't want to say weak digestion, but they don't have like really strong digestion. So my Vatas get up in the morning and they will not eat breakfast. They're just not hungry. So it's a great way to get a Vata person to start actually eating breakfast, and it's just a warm drink. It's really heavy. It also will satisfy you if you're having to give up caffeine, like coffee in the morning. And raise your hand who's got to give up their coffee. I know. So it's a nice little substitute for that warm mug. And then at night, does anybody snack at night? Anyone have a sweet
Yeah.
Like,
So if you had that sweet tooth at night, you can make that and just put a little extra honey, cinnamon in there, and it gets. You can even put like a vanilla extract in there too if you're looking for a sweet treat. So that's helpful. Awesome, Claudia. Do you have any questions?
Where's the Indian store? I can't. Everybody stripped all the dry beans and everything on the shelves. I mean, the Whole Foods, there was no rice. There was no dal. I mean, you know.
I know, it's insane, isn't it? Shelley, where are you?
I'm in Delaware. I'm in Delaware. So
Yeah.
Delaware. And yeah, I lucked out. I was ready to travel across like 20 minutes away, and then I Googled it and saw that there was one right in my backyard I didn't even know about. So yeah,
There's one in Sharonville.
Oh,
There's one in Sharonville, right at on 42, right at by 275.
Okay. Yeah, I go to Uncle Jim's a lot. I go to Whole Foods has, and you know what? I was at Kroger's not 3 days ago, and they were pretty well stocked again. I don't know.
Really? I was about a week.
I have yet to get stuff.
Oh, hi, Karen.
Hey, Karen.
I think I was muted. I kept trying to say something, and I never came through. And I'm like, I don't think this is working. And I hit the bottom, and it came up and said unmute. Okay, so that's why.
Is everybody Midwest for me?
I was at Kroger's not 3 days ago, and they are, the only thing that was missing was like toilet paper, obviously, and pasta, but they were totally stocked.
Which Kroger?
The one right by your house.
Wow. Okay. I'll go again.
Yeah.
I must be going at the wrong times. I'm not having it stocked, but this time what I did was I decided to do a pickup, and I can do it in 4 days. That's as soon as you can get it. But at least I should be able to get all my stuff because there'll be stocking in between. So I'm hoping I'll get some of my products that I haven't been able to get yet. So
we went first thing in the morning, and they were stocked.
Okay.
First thing in the morning, they're stocked.
Okay.
But I think in the afternoon, they get picked over.
Yeah.
There is an Indian store in Mason right by Zoom Nail on Tyersville.
Drug Emporium, you mean, or whatever it's
Mason,
called?
Ohio. I can't remember what it's called. It's across the street from Wild Wings.
Okay, yeah.
Kind of corner, yeah, or the near Liquor
That's
Ohio store.
Oh, yeah.
That's a scary store.
Oh,
Scary or intimidating?
they have everything though.
Another
Like 18
option for you guys there's a company called Green Bean Delivery. Do they have that everywhere? I don't know if they have it nationally, but they just bring you a box of organic vegetables right to your front door once a week. I've been using it for 10 years.
How about that? Okay.
Yeah, so and you can order more than that. And then if you get on Banyan Botanicals website, they have dal as well. And I'm sure they're not sold out. And they have the Kachari spice mix, which is like the best spice mix I've ever had. So that's one of my favorites. No, Janet, where do you get your spice mix?
Well, I use it, but I'm not a huge fan of it, so I have to use it sparingly.
Yeah, I'm not a lover of it either.
I don't like a lot of it can be it goes a long way, I guess I should say.
Is it the turmeric that you don't like? Because turmeric can be
maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, that's not
it just makes it like pasty.
Okay. Well, you'll have to show us the next batch you make.
I eat it. By the end of it, I don't care. I'm just like, okay, it's just a few days. I can deal with it.
Oh gosh, you guys are funny. So if you're making dal, the Kachari dish, it can get super, super thick, or you can really thin it out as you're cooking it as well. So you don't have to make it so super thick. A lot of times too, when I'm cleansing, I'll just make I'll get like 4 cups of water to maybe 1 cup of rice and like a 1/4 cup even of the dal. Cause I usually have to get my stomach adjusted to eating just beans. Cause at the end of this, you're to week 4, you're eating just the dal dish really, and like vegetables and stuff. So it's kind of nice to start making it now and acclimate and figure out how to make
Right.
it. Because if you get to week 4 and it's your first week making it and you don't like it, you're really hosed at the end there, right? So
Yeah.
practice
Yeah.
now.
You'll lose that extra weight.
Yeah. Does anyone have like any specific goals that they're trying to accomplish?
Yeah, just lower the ass. Don't thin
Lower
it in.
Doesn't that come naturally with age?
So most people are going to lose 6 to 12 pounds in the month. And then, if you want to up that a little bit, just.
Just a pound.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, week 1, you might not see your physically shift. Week 2 is usually when you'll start to really notice that you're starting to lose weight. But, you have time is the good news. So you can get out, you can walk. You don't, the 30 minutes a day, you can walk an hour a day. The 10 minutes of meditation can be 20 minutes of meditation. There's no reason not to find a yoga class on YouTube or something and do a yoga practice every day. So, I mean, you have plenty of time to read. Part of the cleanse is even cleansing up your house so you can get organized. And, you're just going to have to really push yourselves on this because you are, alone. And you know how you can get into like that couch potato sludge thing that we do where you just want to lay around. And we also do that because the quality of our mind is getting overwhelmed. I know you want to stay connected with the news, but I would really limit that to maybe once or twice a day. So maybe even telling yourself, I'm going to get up and I'm not going to look. I'm going to look at like 10 or 11 a.m. to see what's happening. And then maybe look again. And that's so that your morning isn't upset. In the morning, you want to really be doing your practice and have your mind focused on you. And then at 11, you can take the world in a little bit. And then maybe then at 6 o'clock before dinner, taking the world in, just because we want to sleep really good at night too. And so between 6 p.m. and 10 p.m. you'll have those 4 hours to digest any like fears or worries that arise because you have checked in on social media and on the news. So I would try to limit that as much as possible. If you're feeling like you want to get on social media, again, get on YouTube and watch some amazing videos. There's all kinds of Ayurvedic education and yoga education on YouTube for you as well, which will kind of feed that desire a little bit. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I've really had to limit mine because I was getting myself in a deep funk because I had to read every single thing there was about the virus. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. This is not good.
And the truth is we don't know. And we have to learn to sit in uncertainty, in not knowing. And it's probably going to be 6 months. Then they'll have some data. They'll have some look backs. They'll have some follow-ups. But right now, we literally just have to sit in uncertainty, in not knowing what's going to happen globally and even personally. Everybody's personally, financially, and otherwise being affected.
It's true. I found myself waiting for it. I'm like, okay, so when am I going to have it? And then I picture it. And then I finally thought, what am I doing? This is exactly what I learned in yoga not to do.
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to go into the future and see what I think is going to happen because right now, today is perfect for me.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful day. I'm home. I've got my puppies, my kitty. This is perfect. So I need to stop, trying to project what I think could happen. And that I always find myself going into that rabbit hole until I get a grip and realize that right now I have a great day. So why ruin it?
Yeah. And there's just not, and what most people don't realize, like if you get into the Dr. David Frawley writings, he predicted, I think this was in the early 2000s. He said that by like 2025, we would have like one World Health Organization where we have like one world medicine, and we would also have like one world spiritual I don't even want to call it a religion. He says it's like a spirituality, and it's going to be based in those basic teachings of yoga and Ayurveda. The interesting thing is, they predict like by 2028, we're going to be in this incredible shift that we're in right now. And there's just going to be a total breakdown of all systems, and then all systems are going to have to evolve into something. And then we're not going to see any benefit of this breakdown and evolution probably through like 2044, believe it or not. So
Wow.
That's how many years out, doctor, like we're watching this like it's a movie. And it's not a movie. Like when I'm 51 now, when I'm 76 or 78 years old, this new world, whatever it looks like, is going to be birthing pretty dynamically. So, we can look at the next 30 years of our life as we're just going to be living in chaotic times, like really chaotic times for 30 years. And if you're feeling all this sense of this ease, right? If you're sitting in this moment so stressed, you already know you can't sit like this for 30 more years.
No, we can't take it.
No, you cannot take it. So our practices have to dynamically change. Our practices have to become so intense, because in the end of all of this, in this breaking period we're having right now, we're going to step back and we're going to know, well, the only thing we really can fully, completely rely on, one, is the self. And two, we're going to cultivate a deeper relationship with the divine, whatever that looks like to you. And it's going to be some worshipful practice, connecting us back to nature too. So, if you do go down the Dr. Frawley rabbit hole, it's just really amazing to think that you're in this, even in this cleanse, the cleanse is 28 days, but how can you be in this for the duration, for the lifetime? Like, how can we only have that 1 cup of coffee in the morning for the rest of our lives? How can we really, we have to culturally move towards the elimination of consuming animals. We just have to. It's going to happen no matter what, whether we want it to or not. It's going to happen. So maybe you can approach your clients thinking, well, how do I make this a permanent part of my life?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have a question about portions of food.
Yes.
So when making our portions, I think I read in your book that you were saying like a fist or the palm of your hand or something like that.
Yeah, basically 2 cups of food. It's so interesting. Like in my kitchen, I have these little bowls, and I never can find anything. So I'm always just using the measuring cup to ladle out soup and stuff. But I have a bowl, and 1 cup, literally 1 cup, fits in that bowl. And
Gotcha.
I can eat that, and I actually end up full. Like, you think I'm crazy, but I eat soup and stuff like that for breakfast a lot. But like this morning, I had a cup of soup for breakfast. And, you do get used to it. Now, a cup isn't going to feel like very much food. So you're probably going to have to start with like 2 cups just to get you're satisfied. But then I think about my dog. She's 80 pounds and she only gets 2 cups a day.
She's probably starving.
I know. I need the dog to feed me. Maybe that's what it should be.
Yeah. But
only put a cup.
Do like 6 cups of food a day.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to liquid, I the first time I took the test, I came out slightly earth.
Okay.
The next time I took it, I came out more fire. And the more I read, and actually when I saw your videos yesterday, I definitely, a lot of the fire resonated in terms of the personality and a lot of other things, but I can see the earth also. I guess what I'm wondering about is when it comes to liquids, it's very different in terms of how much I should be intaking, it seems, based on kapha or pitta. And I wanted to know what suggestions you have. I know you said don't worry too much about this until the end, but I want to make sure that I'm not like getting like bloated by drinking too much water because Earth and Peter.
That's your risk. Yeah. So kapha dosha retains water. And we're all processing water about the same amount. It's all getting through the kidneys about the same amount, the same duration, but kapha tends to retain the water, and then you bloat. And when you bloat, you're actually slowing down your digestive process.
Yeah.
So, in Ayurveda, they say just, drink when you're thirsty. If you're not thirsty, don't drink.
So just, okay. Yeah.
Vata dosha is the dosha that will, one, they skip breakfast, and two, they'll live dehydrated. So you kind of have to force them. Pittas, they get thirsty because they just have a lot of heat in their system. And so the pittas tend to they drink when they're thirsty. But then with the kapha, if you're starting to, how they say to drink 8 servings of water a day, that might be too much for kapha.
And I think that's where I feel the kapha in me, where don't, yeah. So that's good advice. I'll just dip in.
You guys. Sorry.
I'll mute you.
Mute yourself, Karen.
Be funny.
Those damn dogs.
I know. Does anyone have anything else at all?
I was wondering about the massage, and I'm allergic to sesame. Okay. And so I read that pitta coconut oil would be a good one for pitta. So I also, what you described as far as your breakouts that you would get along your jawline, the adult onset acne.
Acne, yeah.
So when I use the coconut on massage, would you recommend that I do wash it off then, or is it beneficial because it may have properties that it won't create blemishes? What would your suggestion be with the coconut oil?
Well, what I normally see happen with people who are using the oil for the first time and they're also cleansing is you're going to see that you're going to break out.
Okay.
So we could argue part of the breakout is your skin's detoxifying, which, your skin's kind of a superficial way to detoxify. There's not that much toxins that actually show up and come out of your skin. But I think your skin just has to get used to it. So a lot of people, like when I change my oils, when I change anything, my skin might have blemishes or breakouts as my skin gets used to it. So I would just try it, and if it's terrible, then just don't put it on your face anymore. You guys are gonna love the oil. Your skin is gonna get so creamy.
I'm so excited.
Yes, and you can put it in your hair.
Oh, cool! I got the sesame oil, but I also got the kind of like for everybody massage oil that was on the site. So I'm not sure which one. And I also got the neem. So I'm curious to try your of the neem.
Did you get the neem oil or the neem tablet?
Crazy. I got the oil and the soap and tablets.
Oh, okay, good.
Good for you.
Neem, I always tease everyone. I'm like, if you are my friend or my family, if I love you, I have you taking neem, and I have you taking trifala as well, which you guys take. But the neem is an anti-everything. Like antibacterial, antifungal, antioxidant. So what it does?
Antiviral. I just looked it up and it had antiviral.
It is. It's
what?
Antiviral.
I know. It was awesome. I was like, damn. I was excited.
I love the neem oil. Yeah. I think the neem oil is awesome. And whoever said they were allergic to the sesame, hey girl, whoever said they were allergic to the sesame oil, I replace it with the neem. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. I might have to. My husband's allergic.
For neem,
Yenny, are you saying something?
Is it okay to take? Yes. Is it okay to take neem for the long term? Because I've been taking it pretty much since we did the cleanse the last time, but I've seen some reports that talk about not taking it for the long term.
I take it every single day for the past probably 13 or 14 years of my life. So.
Okay. And you take it twice a day?
I usually take my herbs just in the morning, but I'll take 2 tablets in the morning. I've taken neem and trifalagugaloo and flax oil pretty much without exception for the past 15 days. I've not seen anything where they say there's negative long-term effects from taking neem. And also, you're not taking that much to be, you might be taking 500 to 800 milligrams a day, which isn't that much. And if you're worried about it, you can always go off your herbs. I do usually once a year, just maybe not once a year, maybe every 18 months go off of everything. Even I go off of like, my menopausal stuff too, just for that life. But I think you can take it all the time.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you.
Stay on our multivitamin.
Yeah, you can stay on your multivitamin, and I think right now, given all the confusion with the current circumstances, we're talking a lot about vitamin C and vitamin D. So yeah, I definitely stay on the multivitamin. If you have a probiotic, one, I've heard good things about that in relationship to work, but also the probiotic for to facilitate a little bit more weight loss as well. So that's who else is that on there? Rebecca, Kim showed up. Kim, do you have any questions?
Did you just say my name?
Yeah, you can just talk.
I'm sorry. I did have a question. I don't take a multivitamin. I take vitamin D, vitamin B, and vitamin C, and a magnesium in the evening. Would I have to change that, or could I just keep doing what I do? Is that fine?
Yeah, I would just keep doing it. The only things I ask that people give up is, you know how sometimes you'll go to the store and you'll have that like ginkgo makes you smarter or something, and you just randomly grab a ginkgo, like not really understanding anything about it. For all those random things you're taking for various reasons that are herbal, that are self-prescribed, just set those aside. The reason I ask that is because it can interfere with your digestion. So everybody knows, like, if your belly's upset, you would drink chamomile tea, right? And that's because chamomile tea is very soothing to your digestion. And a lot of herbs can be soothing as well. And we're not trying to soothe our digestion. We're trying to heat it up and stoke it. So, you don't want to be putting like chamomile tea on top of your digestive fire, which we're trying to ignite.
Okay.
Yeah. So just set it aside. You can go back to everything you like later.
Yeah, I don't do anything like that. I just do the other vitamins. I was concerned. That's all. And I'm a vegan as well. So this week's kind of easy. I told my daughter-in-law, I was like, it's kind of easy. I said, I don't give up red meat. Done it.
Yeah.
So
the cleanse over time has gotten so much easier to teach because, I used to have to argue with people about giving up milk for a month. And now there's, people hardly drinking milk anymore. The biggest challenge I see for people nowadays is they're still consuming meat, and there's really a psychological attachment to consumption. Alcohol is a huge problem that people have a hard time, Yeah, there
Hey,
you go.
Pam. Pam, can I ask about the drinking, since we're talking about not drinking, but the water? My hardest problem is drinking room temperature liquids, water, and that we have to do that, right? Because if we drink cold, it puts the fire out.
Yeah, and there have been, it's really interesting now that you have time to Google the studies of what happens to your body when you drink ice water. So like Ayurveda is 5,000 years old. I don't know how they knew not to drink ice.
I know.
Right? And they didn't have ice either.
Right.
They got their water fresh off the Himalaya, right? But somehow they knew, but then look up the physiology of what happens when you drink ice water. To your digestion.
No, that's a tough one for me. I've got to get off of that.
Yeah, and you're good. You're
right.
So It's hard. And now it's getting warm out too, right? So it's even.
Right.
Yeah. So maybe, maybe just pull the water out of the fridge 20 minutes before you're going to drink it. So it's a little.
And just let it set a little bit. And so it doesn't have to be like warm.
Yeah.
That sounds so bad to me, just warm water. But that was my hardest thing last time. Literally the weirdest thing was I was able to give up coffee, and then I decided to get back on it. This is crazy. I never could. I have never been able to drink a whole cup of coffee again since I did this the first time. All I do now is there are times that I have one of those yogi breakfasts and I put a shot of coffee in it, and that's as much as I can take. Otherwise I feel nervous. So getting off of coffee is huge.
Yeah.
Because I was never able to do it again.
Soda pop, is anyone drinking soda still? That can be, I think soda's harder to come off of than coffee even. And then sugar, of course. So there's soda, there's coffee, there's sugar, there's alcohol. If you're smoking, that's, I can send you a different practice for smoking as well, because that's not something that gets cut out like for 28 days. That's like a long-term project too. So
yeah, it does really work though for those things that you're trying to cut down and get rid of.
Yeah. I mean, it does. And then just do that gradual stepping method, or if you want to fight through it, you can fight through it, but I wouldn't stress yourself.
Yeah, I mean, it was just so funny because as soon as it was over, I was like, thank God I can go back to drinking coffee. And I never could. I was like, I've been fixed and ruined, but not really ruined. It's better. But I just missed it. But that's okay. Now I don't have to fight it again and go through that pouring off a little bit every day like I did.
Well, and then the gurus teach that we don't give anything up. We let it give us up. And
yeah, true.
so
Good
I'm
point.
pushing you through this purification process for 28 days, but be gentle on yourself. Like now that you're going to elevate your consciousness and you're going to be aware that coffee makes you feel bad, and then over time, coffee just gives you up. So as we become aware that it doesn't feel good to have red meat in your belly. Like right now, you might not realize that because you've just gotten used to eating it. And let's face it, our bodies are a machine, aren't they? Like, look at all the crap you've done before this point in time, right? That your body somehow has been able to manage, and everyone's looking pretty good. So, yeah. But then once your body realizes, what, that makes me feel bad, and we make that mental connection, then it just goes away and you don't want it anymore, which is great.
Perfect. I know it is.
Yeah. But it might not take 28 days. It might take beyond for some of the tougher things. Was someone asking something? I see Kaylee on. Hi, Kaylee.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good.
I'm good.
All right. Does anyone have anything else at all?
Hey, Campa, I just have one more question. For the dough, is it okay to put coconut milk in it?
Yeah, and that breakfast doll that Shelly made has coconut milk in it. It cooks a little different, so you're going to have to play with it a little bit. But yeah, you can use the coconut milk for sure.
It's delicious.
It is so good.
I love that. It's delicious. I'm excited to try it.
I don't usually use turmeric, and I've never cooked with it, and I use that, and it's really messy. But other than maybe you got to make sure you don't like get it on your clothes or anything. But man, that was really delicious. Perfect combination of spice and sweet.
Yeah, and it does turn your tongue a little yellow. So sometimes I'll put turmeric in that yogi breakfast as well.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, if there's nothing else, I guess I'll let you guys get back to being quarantined.
Thank you, Pam. This is the highlight of our day.
I
Don't let me go.
The studios are closed, and so I'm the only human going in and out of the studios, which is probably going to save my relationship. So I just get up every day and I leave and I go to the studio. It's
perfect.
Yeah.
Do we make this on a weekly basis?
Yeah, well, you know what I think I'll do is maybe Friday we'll check in again, because that gives you like 3 or 4 days to, you know, maybe get some more recipes together. And then the next time we get together on Friday, you know, you're going to have some very specific questions and maybe some very delicious recipes you want to share with the group too.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay.
I love the same thing. It worked. And
I know. Awesome.
Yay.
Good job. Good job, Pam.
Will you say mine?
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.